talked about this last time on the last podcast that we did about how music can draw you in?
Oh, okay.
Because remember, we were doing, we were talking about, what was that movie with Lady Gaga?
Say hello first. Hi, everybody. What's up? It's your girls, Triple Left Queen, Bola, and
No Tagline Wit.
I'm sorry to interrupt your voice. I just wanted to make sure we said hi. And today's episode, we are talking about the anime movie Belle. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. That's why we're going to talk about it. Okay, finish your thought with me.
And we just hopping on there. We're going classic nerd, you guys.
Yes.
Last episode, we did Bollywood, which we had never done, even though, man, we watched so many Bollywood movies in college, and it had been a while since I watched one. And I always loved anime, in high school and college,
Me
but
too.
hadn't watched one in a while.
It.
Well, probably not since A Silent Voice.
Yeah,
which was awesome.
You're right, Whitney, because I was anime. It's one of my first loves, I guess, too, because I had always loved anime since Sailor Moon. I didn't even know what anime was. I was just watching it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this!" And then I would see. I guess I watched Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Z wasn't as interesting to me as Sailor Moon was, And then you see what other ones were there with me on Toonami? What
She is the run named Sailor Moon. Those were the major
Toonami didn't have more than just.
Oh no, they definitely never had Rama 1/2. They would never have done that. Inuyasha.
Was that the only one that came on with Sailor Moon? Dragon Ball Z Sailor Moon?
Well, no, actually, Inuyasha would have been after. No, Pokemon was Fox.
But it was still anime. That's what I'm saying. The
Oh,
style.
I thought you were talking about Toonami specifically.
I was talking about Toonami as well, but I was talking about animes that I was talking about the style of drawing of animation because it's so different from regular cartoons we watch, like Nickelodeon cartoons or the cartoon. The Hanna-Barbera cartoons, the ones we were used to, Animaniacs, Ed,
time for Animaniacs, and we're
I don't know actually the words of
to the max, so just sit back and relax.
See, I don't know. I know the tune, but I don't remember the words.
Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught. But we get loose and then vamoose, and now you know the plot.
Well, the fact that you know all that, kudos. Because I can't remember.
It was
I don't even think I knew all of that when I was watching it.
It's like my mnemonic. If something's to music, I have a much easier time remembering it.
Me too. But
so
that's on another level.
Intro. The intro, songs for shows, just stuck in my head. And still, I'm so glad my nephews are into classic Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because that's one of the greatest.
It does have
intro
very good
songs.
Yeah, but back to anime.
Sorry, yes, but yeah, anime.
But yeah, I loved it.
This is the first anime that we've reviewed.
I know, it's kind of sad. We're blurs.
That's why I said we're going classic nerd.
Yeah.
Because even though, well, honestly, it had, like I said, it had been a while since I've watched an anime.
Me too.
Ooh, have you watched Ranking of Kings yet?
No, I can't find. I don't have Crunchyroll and stuff. So right now, I'm actually watching an anime that I watched when I was in college or high school. One of the two. I can't remember.
What is it?
I started Fruits Basket because I loved Fruit Baskets when
college. You watched it with me.
Yeah. I loved Fruit Basket, and then I remember stopping at a certain point, and I thought that was all there was. I didn't know there was more seasons and more stories, and we got to see more of the Zodiac characters. And I was pissed. I was like, "What?"
It's been a long time since it's been over a decade since I've watched.
It's a very old
Fruits
one,
Basket.
but they actually reanimated it. And pushed it out in 2019 so that it looks like it just looks better.
Is it good though?
Okay,
all right.
I'm watching it. Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm getting some songs from it too. That was one of my favorite things about animes was not only was I love the intro and outro, not only because they were very artistic.
Man, that just made me think of Revolutionary Girl.
They had awesome songs, didn't they, Whitney?
Missing truth and forever, kissing love and true your heart.
Yeah, and then I was I would learn Naruto was big up. Naruto's my number one anime though. Naruto was I watched. It got me more into Japanese culture and understanding and because once I couldn't watch any more of the English ones. I was like, I want to know what the story is. And then they hadn't released them. And I was like, bump this. And my sister was like, yo, watch it on these sites. You know how she was last episode. She was like, watch it on these sites. So she knew all that stuff. So we were watching everything. And I just started watching them in Japanese. And I was loving it. I learned so much. Awesome. I learned how to sing. I wanted to learn Japanese too. What song is that? I don't know. What song is this?
It's when she's entering the arena from Utena.
Oh, wow. See,
when she's walking up those long stairs. I'm like, y'all need an elevator. These long-ass steps.
Oh, my God. But anime is like, and then that's kind of like the one thing associated with nerd culture, right?
Speaking of, because you were just talking about, I don't think we had started recording yet, but just so you guys know, when we were like talking and I hadn't started recording before then, Bola was mentioning that did we already say what this episode is going to be?
Yes,
Belle, yes, was saying that that's a character that she would actually want to cosplay.
Yes, and I don't cosplay personally. I'm all about people who can do it well. I have
not thus far, but I would love to.
I have not, but I would actually. I literally was like, when I watched this movie, I was like, I want to, like, this movie touched me so much. And that's kind of why I like Fruits Basket too, because it's really touching. And
the Japanese anime does like such a great job. Well, for ones that are meant to do that, because stuff like Dragon Ball Z, you're not getting heartstring pulled or anything. No. But the
Good
ones that are meant to,
yeah,
like their stories are like freaking awesome, and it's just like, why am I bawling my eyes out?
Yes, exactly.
During this, well, no, I also bawl my eyes out during Pixar movies, and animated stuff has just got me all crying,
all messed up.
I know, got me all messed up. But I was gonna say that, like, what you said about Belle,
it was so
reminded
beautiful.
me that Utena is actually a character I would like to cosplay. Like not just regular Utena, but like one of the dueling uniform Utenas. I think that would be cool to cosplay.
Right? I don't know. Me going back, first I haven't seen an anime, like watching it fully. Even one of the things I noticed with myself is just like, man, I really don't finish my animes. I just realized there's so many that I had, like, I didn't finish Sailor Moon. I didn't finish Digimon
either, but only because, like, Toonami never showed all the rest of them, and that was like when I was prime Sailor Moon watching.
Yeah, but I could have watched them online, but I just didn't. I fell off of the story, and then I got so much interested in the other ones. Plus, that was a time Potter was out, and then Naruto was out, so I was full on Naruto at the time. So I just was like interested in that, and I just kept watching that. I don't think I watched any other animes at the time. After Naruto, I watched Digimon, but again, I thought that came on on a TV show.
Oh yeah, I loved Digimon. I actually liked Digimon better than Pokemon, to be honest.
Yes. I loved Digimon, and then I realized, oh, this is also an anime, and I did not know. I was just because it was English the way it came to us.
Did you ever watch Monster Rancher?
No, I don't know what that one is.
It was one of those ones that came on early in the morning, like before school. Like, it was probably about middle school when I started watching it. But it had like this character who was a little boy named Genki, and there were these like different monsters in this world he went to, and he would like, I can't remember if he was fighting them, but like I really want to find it because I liked Monster Rancher, and I was also thinking to myself, I need to go back and find and finish Inuyasha.
Right? Yeah, we were watching. You got me onto Inuyasha and actually other animes. I have to thank you for that because you did it. Were you the one that got me into Ouran High School Host Club? That's like my other second favorite one.
I feel like you got me into it.
Okay, I must have started watching that one. I love Ouran High School Host Club. I was so mad
much.
That they did not do more of it, and it was like Fruits Basket, and that one was similar.
It did so well, though.
It did, but people wanted more.
I do, but I also think the Japanese anime do like a great job of knowing when to end it on a high note. Mm-hmm. Whereas, some of our stuff just be dragging on. I mean,
or they let it go on forever. Like Naruto has gone on forever. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was Naruto, and then he grew up, and then there was Naruto Shippuden, which I also like. So I watched all of Naruto, and then I got into Shippuden, and then I had stopped watching Shippuden before the story was over, and I was so mad because I was so invested in the story. I just, college just got. I had to stop watching. I was just doing stuff.
I never watched Naruto. It seems like it would be more like a Dragon Ball Z, and I liked Dragon Ball Z back in the day.
But it had such touching story, Whitney.
But Dragon Ball Z was like more fighting, and didn't seem like. I mean, it had story, but it just wasn't enough story for me to keep being like super interesting.
Oh, I'm telling you, Naruto is totally different. That's the whole thing. The stories, the touching moments. They're hard shinobi fighters, but at the same time, there's a story of Naruto being ostracized and lonely as the kid who possesses the nine-tailed fox demon. So everyone underestimates him, pushes him aside. He's a nobody. His parents, he's an orphan. Actually, it's just so much rich story, and then his fighting spirit. And how people that meet him are just transformed, like they change. It's just a good story.
Watch it? Did you watch it in Japanese or English?
I watched it in both. I watched it in English up until a point where they had stopped recording it, and then I couldn't wait anymore. I'm not very patient. So then I started watching, and then I forever watched it in Japanese.
I only asked because I started watching it. Like I watched like 2 episodes, and then I watched it in Japanese because I used to be a purist. Like
me too.
Watch the subtitle, but as I got older, I'm like,
you're tired sometimes.
Yeah, you're tired. I'm like, I want to be able
I want
to
the
just
story
listen.
to go on, but I want to lay down.
Exactly. So I'm like, I just wanted to find out if it was good or not. Because if it's good, I'll go ahead and just watch it.
The English is good too. The only thing I don't like is that because they don't. I don't even know the right tag term for this, but like how certain languages have like a tag at the end. You might know this, but Naruto has this thing he adds, and I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's just like a slang thing or just a language tag, but he always says something datebayo, and I don't know what that means because it's like a tag onto the language, and they did not know how to match that up. When they first started, he stopped saying it a little bit when he got older in the Shippuden, but the English version, when they tried to match the mouth up, they did not know how to do the datebayo that was still moving, so they just added "believe it" at the end of everything he said. So it got super irritating. My sister was like, "This is dumb. Why does he keep saying believe it?" But it was supposed to show that he had like a language tag.
Nah, I mean.
Yeah, like, basically that. You're like, nah, I mean.
Have you ever seen what's that? It's a Tyler Perry movie. Oh, Why Did I Get Married? And you remember the lying husband? Every time he lies, he says like, nah, I mean. So they would always know when he was lying when he said that. And when you said it was like some type of saying, but they couldn't quite translate. It was like, that reminds me of like a nah, I mean.
So that was the only like irritating thing for the beginning parts, but it's very good in English. And in fact, I'm actually watching Fruits Basket currently in English because it's on Hulu, so the ads are killing me. But I really like the story so much. I really want to finish.
I've got no ads Hulu, but is Hulu's viewing experience better? Because like Hulu for me has always been the worst streamer as far as like buffering.
So far I haven't had any issues, but that's just when my internet's not acting funny in the first place. That's a Comcast thing. So I've had that issue where Comcast just acts up. But so far, when I watch, I'm able to just go through without any issues. The only problem is just I don't have an ad-free one, so the ads be killing me. But other than that, I've already like got some songs that I really like off of there. I'm like, I need to like download
of Fruits
these.
Basket?
Yeah, because they've changed it from the old one. Because they used to have this one.
I actually can't even remember the premise. No, to be honest, I can't remember anything.
I just remember it was
so what, I have completely forgotten. What was the premise of Fruits Basket?
Okay, so the premise of Fruits Basket is that there's this really nice, kind of naive girl, high schooler, who she ended up living in the forest because she was raised by a single mom and her mom died and she had no money and no family. Well, she had some family, but she didn't have anyone to take care of her really. And so she went to this high school and her grandfather took her in because he was the only relative that would take her in. But her mom died. She was it was like her and her mom were tight. Kind of like in Belle, the mom and her were so tight. And it's like her whole world was upended. But she still had this positive, awesome attitude and was determined to live and be like, achieve the dreams that her mom wanted her to achieve. And then there's like the prince character that was in the school and stuff. And so she was living in a tent because the grandpa was like, oh, I don't have room at my other daughter's house where they were staying, that they were renovating and they didn't have room. So he asked her to go stay somewhere else. But because she's always seeing herself as a burden, she doesn't want to burden her friends, everything. She can't stay with other people. She went to live in a tent in the woods for a couple weeks. I was like, this is dumb. But that's what she did. And so she did not know she was near the Soma house. And the Soma the princely characters. There's a bunch of them. It's like a big family that have like a whole compound and all that kind of stuff. But Shigure was one of the characters, and then Yuki and Kyo went to school with her, and they lived in this house, and they saw her like outside in their tent. They're like, "What are you doing here?" And so they were like, "Come and stay with us. We don't want you to be outside." And then she found out because she ended up hugging one of them, and then whenever she hugs one of the Zodiac members, they turn into their animal spirit. So then she figured out that the Soma have this curse on their family that certain members of the Soma clan have the Zodiac spirit. And so throughout the show, she stays and learns and gets to know she's impacting this family. They have like a lot of trauma, dark secret issues because these people are cursed and they're all different ages, different group, but they all have the Soma last name and they all have like a trauma, or all of them have like a trauma, and then because of her positive light attitude, it's like they're able to change. And it's a good drama because it helps you deal with how to deal with bullying, how to deal with trauma, how to deal with, like, I don't know what it is, but she just impacts their whole family.
Fruits Basket.
I'm telling you.
Is it over?
It's like, that's all they're going to do, apparently. They'd have 2 seasons of 25.
Because I actually like watching stuff that's like done.
Girl, I didn't even know it was over. That's why I was like, I was like, Fruits Basket had more episodes? I was like, there was more Zodiac? I never met the monkey and the horse and this. I didn't even know that was a dragon. I was mad. Because I was like, this show is so old. And you know what's so interesting? If you really wanted to, Hulu also has this dubbed and subbed of the original 2001... 2010, anime that was out. They have, Hulu has the old one if you want to watch the old one, but they have the new one it says 2019, and that one's completely redone, and the animation is awesome. Music is done. It's done in the style of today, and I love it. I'm like, that's my thing.
I'm gonna check it out. Okay.
I'm gonna go home and watch more right now.
As soon as we get done, that's what I'm gonna start on.
I spent all day watching it yesterday
Fruits
after
Basket.
work.
That sounds really good.
Yes, it's very
By the
good.
way, you should check out One Punch Man. I'm so upset.
No, you've been saying it. I just gotta find where to watch it.
Where did I watch it? I think I watched it on Netflix, but it's only the first season.
It's Ranking of Kings that you're talking about that I keep saying I don't know how to find it because I don't have Crunchyroll and stuff like that.
But yeah, One Punch Man season 1 is on Netflix. And apparently there's another season, or going to be another season, but it's only so far been released in Japan, so there's not like another one to watch. But it was really good because I thought it was going to be one of those kind of Dragon Ball Z-esque type of things where I
thought it looked like One Piece like type of stuff. Like, I don't even watch One Piece, but it looked like it.
Oh, well, I mean, all I know is that like the big smile thing, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like my kind of animation.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was happy to like reminisce and go back. Watching Fruit Basket made me like go back into why, like, and watching Belle even and A Silent Voice made me go back into, oh man, why do I like remind me of my days of watching all of Studio Ghibli. Miyazaki-san. I love all of his films. Like, I went back and watched all of them.
Spirited Away is probably my favorite.
Howl's Moving Castle, hands down, is my absolute favorite.
I'm not as much into Howl's Moving
Castle.
What?
Howl's is
just
best.
Because I read the book.
Oh.
It's a book. Yeah, it's by this, I think she's British. She might be American. I think she's British though. Diana Wynne Jones, I think, is the author's name. And I read the book. There's also a follow-up called Castle in the Air, which wasn't as good. But Howl's Moving Castle.
I like Castle in the Air, but you're right, it wasn't. But it didn't.
I'm talking about specifically the books.
Oh, the books. Okay, my bad.
But like, yeah, you need to read Howl's Moving Castle. It is so good.
Oh, I didn't know it was a book. I just watched the movie.
It was from the 80s. A lot of my favorite authors are like
80s. Okay.
Yeah.
I be reading the new stuff that's coming out now. I just bought a book today.
I still haven't read like my 2 newest stuff, but like the authors from the 80s, I just like, I don't know. It was the thing, the things that like middle school you would seek it out and you're like, oh,
sometimes it's
so
just nostalgia. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's nostalgia, but sometimes it's just that they were that good. Just like also the Dark Angel trilogy that you refused to read.
Anyway, so let's go into Blerd Out, actually. All right, so I'm actually going to blurt out. Just want to get some updates. So 2 things that are coming out that I really, really like that I've already started watching are I liked She-Hulk. Now, people have been complaining and talking and all this stuff.
You know me,
but
I'm going to wait till it's over before I even start.
I know. But me, I don't like to do that. I like to watch because I'm not going to lie. Binging doesn't work for me that much. I start to get a headache after a while watching too much TV for long. So I like to do it in chunks and then go to sleep. So actually, I like to watch serials, and I'm fine with going one, and then I'll wait for next week. I'm totally fine with that.
And I would have actually done that
gives me a headache.
for House of the Dragon, but my mom was like, House of the Dragon is about to come on, so I'm like, okay, this is going to be a family watch thing. So I'm gonna watch
I liked House of the Dragon. The first episode was awesome. So those are the two things that I was really. I can't wait. I missed the She-Hulk episode this week, but I'm totally gonna watch that when I get home. I decided it's either that or Fruits Basket, because I was like, I really want to get to season 3. Season 3 has only 13 episodes, but season 2 has 25 episodes. And I'm on season 2, and I was like, I know I fell asleep watching it yesterday. So, but those are my 2 update things. I really like She-Hulk, and I'm very happy that House of the Dragon starting off well. We got different people making it. It's a whole different story. It's more about the Targaryens, which is very interesting to me. Mm-hmm. I even watch them behind the scenes, people who read all the lore and know all the back information and all this kind of stuff. So it's just cool. So fellow nerds, I know you guys are watching these 2 things. Yeah. Marvel and of course Game of Thrones fans are watching. So big ups. Let's keep watching it, y'all.
Yeah. That's
but
funny.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that we have a blurt out in common, because I was also gonna blurt out
right
about House of the Dragon.
Well, my real blurt out is about going axe throwing.
Oh
my god,
dude, I'm so jealous. I want to go axe throwing.
Those are my updates. I was my mini updates. I was like, those are awesome.
I actually for once was actually on Instagram, so I saw one of the pictures that he posted. I was like, I want to go axe throwing.
It was so fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you have to be careful, of course. But some people were jumping and stuff at it. But once I got to throwing it, I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I just was like, I need to get better at it. That's the only thing, because I was missing a lot. And we got to throw a spear, which was cool. And I'm not very good at it. And Anu, we went for our best friend, my best friend Anu. We went for her party, and it was just like, I just can't believe that she's so good at it. She hit the most. Every time, you know how we were hitting and we were just dropping. It was just dropping. Me, our friend Chad was she didn't even get one the whole day. It was so fun. I was like, Chad, I watched you, right? You didn't get one hit the whole day. She's like, I tried. But all of us were just playing for fun. But Anu was back to back, always getting it. She only maybe dropped a few. And for her birthday, they did the special one where they put a balloon and they're hit the balloon. And it took her only 2 tries. She hit it she hit right next to the balloon because it bounced. Mm-hmm. So she hit right next to the balloon. But the second time she hit that balloon right there. I was like, all of us were like, go! And I was like, so this is your superpower. I was like, so this is your thing. Not Topgolf, not bowling, axe throwing. And I was like, are you sure you don't have a stump you're practicing on? All the guys were good at throwing spears for some reason. They were not as good as Anu was at throwing the axes, but when it came to the spears, the guys are good. All of us chicks, we sucked at the spear throwing.
I feel like it's probably because I feel like in my mind, spear throwing is almost like football throwing. It's a strength thing. Whereas axe throwing, you've got to have technique and finesse, so that it actually hits with the head rather than the handle.
And honestly, shout out to Brett, because we went to place. It's called Rockville, Virginia, but it's really past Short Pump, in the West End area.
Oh, so not the one that's because I thought there was one in Richmond.
There's one in Stony Point. That's the one in Richmond.
I thought there was one in Scott's Edition.
It probably is. I don't know what's in Scott's Edition.
Well,
I don't go over there.
I got my dad a certificate years ago, and it hadn't opened yet, so he still hasn't.
I don't know. But I only know the one in Stony Point, and then the one that we went to called Virginia Axe Throwing. And shout out to the manager, Brett, because he was awesome. Not only was he taking care of us and teaching, he was coaching us, but he played with us as well. And he he's very talented he took these 2 big axes, because we had tomahawks, so we hit the smaller ones, but he took these 2 big axes and he threw them both underhanded, blindfolded, and hit every time. And he did the spears. He was just awesome and cool. He had a great personality.
Sounds like a hobby I'm going to want to take up. Ooh,
and
I should hit Julian up. Julian! I think Julian doesn't listen to our podcast, but we should go axe throwing Julian.
Okay, Julian, hit her up since she wants to go axe throwing. We can go back again, of course. But just how, how some people, you're oh, you might not find them like extremely cute or whatever. But this is personality. You know how somebody's personality bumps their hotness up?
Yeah.
That's totally Brett right there. Like Brett was cool. He was like chill, just a regular dude, redhead, kind of like Carrot Top. He reminded me of Carrot Top because of his personality and how he was talking. And I was like, but his hotness factor went up several notches that night because I was like, oh, you cute.
That reminds me of.
His personality is great.
You never watched Doctor Who, like new Doctor Who, but one of the
I might because the guy from Sex Education, the black one. I have never seen a black Doctor Who. I'm very excited for that.
There's going to be a black Doctor Who. I didn't know who the new Doctor Who was going to be.
The guy that plays Eric F. Young.
Really?
His name is Ncuti Gatwa in real life, and he's going to be the new Doctor.
Oh snap!
So I will watch just for him.
I'm like maybe 2 seasons off.
Yeah, I missed the girl Doctor too, which I was upset about.
Well, I mean, it's on HBO Max.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I might go and watch that.
Well, I don't know if the newest season is on there because it's a BBC.
Heard the girl season wasn't that great though. That's what I heard too.
Yeah, I actually really like. I can't remember the actress's name. I really like her as the Doctor, but I feel like the writing material was not as strong as like some other ones.
Oh well,
but. Yeah, so that was kind of a bummer.
I liked acting a lot, and I think I would like to go back and practice some more because we also wanted to do the you could also pay a little extra money, and then you can do the like ninja stars and knives, and then he would teach you how to do that. Ooh. So it was like a package. You paid like an extra $10 to do spears, and then you paid like an extra like another $10 to do the small knives. And I was like, I really think I would have done better with the ninja stars and stuff. And I was mad because I watched Naruto, so I've always loved those ninja stars, the shurikens and all that kind of stuff. I was like, yes, but we just didn't get to do it because we had so much time. We played blackjack. We had 2 lanes because we had a large party. So it was nice.
How much was it to do the axe throwing? How much time did you get for how much you pay?
Honestly, that's why I like that place because you paid $35 a person, and you got like an hour and a half of play.
That sounds good.
It was a lot of time actually. That we ended up doing different things after we kept going. We had a game. We played a game, so we tried to win, like side by side. We tried to. Our group was like 11 people, so we broke up into groups and then tried to see who could win and play like a blackjack type of game. And then he ended up bringing spears. He brought it for just a new to try as a birthday gift. And then all of us wanted to do it. So then we had the spears package added on. So then it was $10 more. Okay. So, but honestly, it was good for your money. It was a nice amount of time.
That does sound like a really good amount of time.
I'm good with it. I'm all for, I will say this. When you get over 30-something, like we are, I'm all for spending your birthdays doing different activities with friends and loved ones, as opposed to like going on, you got to turn up. Not everybody likes to do that. Not everybody has stamina to do that.
Me, there was a very, very, well, actually, I don't think I was ever really a turn-up person.
No, I don't think you were. But you did like to dance, but you didn't like to go out and dance. That's the only thing. I was like, it's so hard to get you to come out to dance. Even now, before I used to really like even last year, I would still like it, or I've gone out a couple times this year too, but it's just like I like doing different activities that you've never done. Like I'm really trying to look for a ceramics class. Ooh. And I want to do candle making.
Oh, dude, if you find those, I would totally do those with you.
There's also a rage room if you're really about it, but to me, the price for what you get to do was not. They weren't wasn't matching up because I told everybody about at the party at the birthday thing. I told everybody about the rage room, and they're like, there really is such a thing where you can just smash stuff. And which one? I was like, yeah. And then when I found the information because I wanted to give it to somebody, I looked at the prices. I was like, this is how much to smash 2 things? I'm like, nah, man, I can smash that mess in my backyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would go to the rage room because I think the price based on what you get to smash, I just think it's not
worth it.
Not really. To me.
I got you.
Not that I'd be raging like that anyway. So, all right. Anyway, up to you. But axe throwing, try it, everybody. It's fun. Be careful. Be safe. Wear closed-toed shoes. But enjoy.
Dude,
it's
I
fun.
want to try that.
Get your little baby thrower on. That's what I kept calling myself. All right, Whitney. Talk about your blurred out, girl.
All right. So I'm blurting out about a few things. So one, I had a blurred out in common with Bola, House of the Dragon, which I was super excited about. Like I said, I would usually wait until the entire season was over so that I could binge watch it. But when I was at my parents' house, because it comes on Sundays and we do Sunday family dinner, my mom was like, okay, boys, because they were playing on the Super NES Classic, and she was
you
like,
did not let the kids watch that.
No. My mom was like, okay, y'all got 5 more minutes because it's almost 9. And then at 9, I'm turning to House of the Dragon. So y'all got 5 minutes to play Mario. And then you got to come off.
Okay. So did they go upstairs or they went home?
Yeah, they went upstairs.
Okay, good.
Actually, they ended up going back in the Florida room because we ended up watching it in the family room. And I think my dad was watching like sports or something.
He doesn't watch.
No, he's not really like... I mean, he'll watch movies, but he's not like a big movie person. He's more of a sports, NASCAR, football, a little bit of basketball, mostly football.
He's not into movies.
I mean, he's not into movies. It's just not like a big thing for him.
I got you. He's probably not somebody who would watch something like Game of Thrones.
Probably not. But like me, my mom, and then my brother and Tiffany were all watching it.
It was good, wasn't it?
So it's gonna be one of those like it's kind of nice to have like a water cooler type of show where you're all watching it because it's like, oh, it's time.
I wish my sister would just get on it and watch, but I don't blame her. She doesn't watch Game of Thrones at all, and I was like, man.
Shall she?
No, she has never watched it because we've never had HBO. We currently have it now, but. She just you should
really have her watch Game of Thrones. I know that the ending is disappointing, but like the rest of it is still a good watch. I told her to,
especially now that she has all this time. I told her to, and she refuses. She's so stuck on her other stuff. So I'm just like, you know what? I leave her alone. Her and my mom will spend so much time watching all this other stuff or the same like Running Man Korean TV shows over and over. And I'm like,
speaking of, just for an interjection, that's the next thing we really need to like do is
a Korean drama.
Yeah, because that's going once again going old school nerd.
Yeah, the K dramas.
yeah, and we have not done one of those. So to like
and I'd be
round it all out, we should actually
all the foreign movies that I watch have allowed me to learn. So many like one of the things I remember I worked at Accents for Fun Facts, and then I realized that I could sing songs in so many languages, about like 9 languages, and it's because like you, like I love songs, I love music, singing is like a therapy, which is so apropos for this episode. But I just love it, and I remember I learned a lot of it from watching all these foreign films and foreign TV. And I just got into it, and I was like, man, at different points in my life, I was learning Korean, I was learning Japanese, I was just picking up the songs, researching the Roman, like finding the Romanization, and then learning them. And so I taught myself how to sing all these songs in different languages, and it was like about 9 languages now. But it's so fun. I was like, man, I really was watching like so much stuff. I was like, I was watching Korean dramas, Japanese anime. I was watching like British TV, French movies, all this stuff. Nigerian movies, everything. So I was like, man, I watch all of it. Like when I don't watch them, I'm like, man, I need to get back into a Korean drama.
Right.
I recommend you do Itaewon Class.
Is that a movie or a series?
On Netflix. It's a series.
Okay.
It's just the 16 episodes. It's done, and it's very good.
You want to do the next episode?
You gotta watch it. That's the only thing. I won't say next because in case it may take you time. I know you got other stuff you're watching. Yeah. We'll see.
Is there a movie we can watch? Because like I feel like we should keep this classic thing going.
I don't watch a lot of the Korean movies. Like to me, the classics are the Korean dramas.
What's that one that
Coffee
like the
Prince?
Classic one? Well, no, that was the series. What's that one that we watched where he was doing like this whole revenge thing?
A Korean movie?
Yeah, it was a Korean movie, and I forget why he was doing this revenge. He had done something to either him or his family, and he ended up...
Sounds like a lot of Korean movies. Are you talking about Parasite?
The dude, no,
you did Parasite, though. That was a Korean movie. And Minari.
Oh, we did.
Those are both Korean movies.
Well, no, Minari's more like a...
But it was Korean. It wasn't... Well, it was half and half.
They were Korean, but it wasn't a Korean movie.
Okay, they were half and half. Yeah. It was half English, half Korean.
But it was like... And then at the end, he like the guy had to like sell him his company for like 5 cents.
Oh my God, what are you talking about, Whitney?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yo, I don't know what she's talking about.
I can't. It was like an action type of movie.
Was it one of the olden day ones?
Yeah, it was like one of the ones that we watched like in college.
And it was a movie and not a TV show? Because I was all about the K-dramas back in college. Was it Sankyunghwa Scandal where it was about school? So here's one of the premises that's always in Korean dramas where a girl is pretending to be a boy. And then she's like, every episode she's threatening to be found out.
This one was like the main character was a guy.
Girl, no. You have to call my sister about that one because she's a Korean queen.
Okay, yeah. Because maybe we could do that one because that one's classic, and that way we did Bollywood.
I wish I knew what you're talking about because I don't find it classic.
I feel like it would really round it out to like do a Korean drama just to be like old school nerd stuff.
Yes, I think a Korean drama would be good. I like Secret Garden.
I don't think I ever watched that one.
Kept
you
telling
told me about it, but I never got around to watching it.
I love it. I learned the song because the Korean drama, just like in the Bollywood, just like Bollywood films, but also like the Japanese anime, they always have like a song, and it's like the original soundtrack song, but it's always like a song that goes throughout the series. So it's like a theme song. Like there's always a bunch of them, but there's always like this main one. And I love the song for Secret Garden so much. I learned that mess. I learned it in Korean. If I can sing it in Korean, don't let me get started. I will.
Wow.
Anyway, but
I never got. Yeah, but we should make an effort.
Look at us making plans on the pod. Anyway, we should probably get into this episode, right? Are you done blurting out?
No, I wasn't even halfway done with my.
I'm sorry.
House of the Dragon. But yeah, I just wanted to say that like it had like a really strong start, and it's great to have one of those shows where like the whole family wants to be like, oh yeah, let's watch it together because it's like really good, and it was really good. It had that intrigue and all the machinations that made Game of Thrones so good.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say that I was tentative to watch this only because I was like, they hurt me so bad.
I agree. I was like,
Game of Thrones hurt me so bad that I was like, when I first heard they were doing a prequel, I was like, nah, it's gonna be trash. It's gonna just be awesome and then gut you at the end. And I was like, I was not here for it. But then they're like, no, different people are making it, and I was so curious. I kept seeing the pictures everywhere. I just caved and watched that mess, and I really liked it.
I did too.
I'm very here for all the drama, and I like Matt Smith. I didn't watch him in Morbius, but I liked Matt Smith.
Oh, he was in Morbius?
Yeah, he was like Morbius's like best friend or something.
Oh,
anyway, nobody watched Morbius, but he was in it, unfortunately. I
feel like I want to watch it just to see if it's really as bad as people say.
I'm going to let you take that one for the team, okay?
But no, like I actually really liked his doctor because he was the doctor.
Yeah, I did too. I liked him as the doctor. Yep. Oh,
you watched Matt Smith Doctor Who episodes?
Yeah, okay. I was there. And I also liked because that's where they did the Van Gogh episode that I love so much.
Wait, was that Matt Smith?
Mm-hmm. And the redhead girl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she was definitely like one of like his main companion for most of it.
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that was Matt Smith or if it was.
And he was in The Crown. I loved him in The Crown as the prince when he was younger. Oh God, he did such a good job.
But my other things that I was blurting out about, and I'll make these relatively quick, is before me and my mom watched RRR, she started watching some movie that Netflix had recommended to her, and it's an English movie, but it's like, it's called Wedding Season.
Oh, I watched that.
Yeah,
I watched it. It was
so cute.
Yes, thank you. Somebody listened to me to watch it. Well, I never told you about it, but I tried to get my mom and my sister to watch. My sister looked at it and she's like, "It's gonna be cheesy. You're gonna tell what it's gonna be at the end. I'm not watching it." I was like, "How you gonna shut it down?" Even my friend Ashley came from New York,
and who cares?
And she watched it too.
Part of the things that make like Hallmark movies or like Netflix Christmas movies, so they're gonna be cheesy, but you still love it.
It was awesome.
And
I
loved
loved it.
It was cheesy. I thought it.
I don't think it was cheesy either.
It's predictable, but it wasn't cheesy.
It was not cheesy.
I thought it was super cute.
I thought it was a great story because it was like what I liked about it was that it still had the cultural aspects of Indian, but it was like of Indian culture, but it was still like the cultural aspects of Indian culture. Get it together. It still had the cultural aspects. However, it showed perspective of American-born Indians. You know what I mean? As opposed to like, oh, these people are already in India. This is that, so they know. Like, this is the struggle of the culture of young people that are born here, having these problems, having to, they want to live their life, they want to do this, but again, the parents are like trying to force them to get married all the time, and they're like, no, I want to do my own thing. And like the son had the problem where he quit school and everyone's like, the whole thing, the parents made the profiles for them and lied their asses off. It was just like, it was so crazy. It's like, he graduated from MIT. Nah, you forgot the part where he dropped out. And it was probably better for him because, he ended up making buku money anyway.
Yeah.
I was so mad. Anyway, let's not get into that, but that movie was great. I'm sorry. I took over your blurt out.
No. It's cool.
That movie was great.
I think that, wow, man. I I thought there was something else, but now I can't.
Wedding season was just really good.
It was. It was so cute. You guys should check it out. It's on Netflix.
There's so much to watch, y'all. Watch all that. Okay, so what did we mention? We mentioned Fruits Basket, Wedding Season, the She-Hulk, and
House of the
Dragon. Yes.
And also, as I've been saying multiple times, and Bola has not.
One Punch Man.
Well, yeah, One Punch Man definitely on Netflix, the first season. And Ranking of Kings on Crunchyroll.
Hey, I'm trying to find it. I don't have Crunchyroll. It's too many things I'm paying for. Too many things.
Have you ever watched anything on, what's the other one?
Crunchyroll back in the day when you can watch it for free.
No. What's the one that's similar to Crunchyroll?
Funimation?
No, that's not where I watched it. I watched it on something else.
Dailymotion?
That's going to shut down soon because it got merged into Crunchyroll.
Dailymotion? Wasn't it Dailymotion?
Nah. It was something with an S.
Funimation?
No.
You said S or F?
S.
I don't know.
I can't remember. But I temporarily got like a Netflix, well, not Netflix. I temporarily through like Amazon subscribe, the 1 week subscription, powered my way through Ranking of Kings. And I'm like, I'm done. And that was
it.
Maybe it was Funimation. I'm trying to see if I can like just see what I like. Oh, snap. You're right. It was Funimation. Mm-hmm. So I just did the 1 week.
Just to watch the show. I know I've done that too. I'm trying to do this so I can finish Ted Lasso because I really want to finish it because I really like. I've been seeing the guy who plays Roy Kent everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Brett,
Hercules.
I've been seeing him
in Love and Thunder
because of the stupid Hulu ads. I've been seeing him everywhere, and every time I see him, I'm reminded that I've not finished Ted Lasso, and I don't have Apple, so I'm just like. I don't know. I got to pick and choose these things. But I'm like,
yeah, because I used to have CBS All Access, and I want to watch Ghosts, but there's not enough incentive for me to switch from Apple TV Plus to CBS All Access yet. Because I'm not going to do...
There's just too many. I'm like...
That's why I pause it. Because like Hulu, I keep, even though I haven't watched it in a while. Netflix, I always keep. Amazon Prime, it's a year thing, so it's easy to keep that.
Netflix better not play with us. They are trying to do ads and all this other BS that I've been hearing about in the news. Don't play with us. Stay the way you are. I feel like
it's going to be an add-on, though. Like, they're going to have, like, a cheaper version for ads. But if you have your one that you already have, you keep it that way. But
but they might add more money. That's what I'm saying. They might add more money to keep it that way. That's what I'm worried about. Which I'm like, y'all need to stop. It already done went up so many times.
They have gone up a number of times.
I think it's 20-something now.
It's $19.99 for me.
And I almost $20 now.
But I feel like it's not $19.99 for most people. I expanded the number of streams at one time.
What do you mean?
Because you can only have so many people simultaneously watching it if they're like watching at the same time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like I was watching something and my brother was watching something and my mom called. She was like, it says I can't watch because too many people are watching. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. And then she had like this really sad voice. Aww. And then I called her back because I couldn't have like the super sad voice. So I was like, Mom, I upgraded my subscription. You should be able to watch now.
Oh man.
So yeah, so I pay $19.99 just because I have like the higher package that has more simultaneous streams.
Okay. Well, I guess I have to look into that. Anyway, I'm ready to get into Belle.
I think we are, girl.
Yeah, guys. So back to our regular scheduled program. We are talking about Belle, the animation, and that was
anime animation.
The anime animation, yes. To clarify, it is originally Japanese, but if you have HBO Max, you can watch it there, and that's where I saw it.
You actually can watch it in either Japanese or English.
Just learn that because I thought it was only available in English and Japanese. In English on HBO, and then Whitney showed me today that it's also available in the Japanese, and then I also realized that the songs were the same too. So whatever behind the scene thing I watched misled
the same,
me.
but in the actual language.
No, but I mean, like, I thought the songs were completely different. But they're actually the same. They're just in English. And I did not know that. So I always thought that the Japanese songs were different. And I don't know. I just always thought it was just in in English on
Yeah,
TV
I got you.
whatever. Anyway, so let's give them some information about this. Besides
Like
where
I
you
was
can
saying
watch it.
earlier, like the thing that brought me in, like I was like, dude, yeah, I want to watch this. Bola showed me a trailer for it some weeks ago on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, just the music brought me in. It was similar to like that song "Shallow" from A Star Is Born, where
Music
like
can just do it to you.
it can, or the music can draw you in, and then the movie is crap. In the case of A Star Is Born, "Shallow" was the song, and then A Star Is Born was the movie. A Star Was Born was a really good movie. This was a really good movie. Drive Me Crazy, that Britney Spears song
You
from
drive
back in
me
the
crazy. Ow. Girl, when I was driving here, I was jamming out so hard to Bye 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 by NSYNC.
Oh, I love that song.
Makes me jam. I was just
Every
like,
little thing I do.
that's not the song.
Oh wait, sorry, you're right. But I also,
I was like, what?
I also love It's Gonna Be Me. That's also
It's gonna be me. Yeah, that's a good one. No, that's a good one.
That entire
But
album was fire.
yes. No strings attached. Bomb.
Fire.
I don't care what nobody say. Justin, you should be proud of that. That started you up, dude. You should be proud of that.
I mean,
you ain't had
it
no
did-
sexy without Bye Bye Bye, okay? Bringing sexy back for what? He ain't never went nowhere. And, I'm sorry.
But it is. It's one of those songs like, unlike, what I was saying, Drive Me Crazy made me want to watch the movie. I mean,
And the movie is crap.
the movie sucks so bad. So
remember it.
bad.
That's how bad it was.
It was like an okie doke. Bait and switch, y'all.
Oh my God.
But this was like, the music drew me in, and then like watching the movie, I was like, this was really good. And then the music, like the entire, like I download, like after watching the movie, I actually downloaded the entire playlist for the movie to my music library because it was just awesome.
Music, I remember I was like scrolling through. So the reason why ended up doing this anyway is because I was just scrolling through HBO just to look for stuff to watch. Okay. I was just looking for stuff to watch, and I was like, okay, I'm watching them, and I was like, what is this about? And then I think I had already watched. I'd already watched A Silent Voice, which is another Japanese, very good anime movie. And so I was like,
Did it recommend you? Because I thought A Silent Voice was, I mean, did it try to recommend it to you because of that? Because I thought A Silent Voice was Netflix.
No, you're right. It's because I had already watched that, and I was looking for more anime things to watch, and I saw that it was a movie, and I was like, "What is this?" I saw the beautiful cover of the girl on it, and I was like, "Man, I need to." Watching that Silent Voice made me want to get back into watching animes and stuff because I was like, I had really not watched an anime or even anime film in a long time, so I was like, let me get back into this. So I was scrolling and I saw it on HBO, and I just like, let me look at a trailer. What's this about? I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this looks good.
It does. It's
and
like
I had already always put in
beautiful.
my mind, I'm going to watch this. And then I finally watched it like a couple months ago. And then I blurted out about it. And my sister was here talking about it. Like, I think I watched it last month. So the fact that I was like, Whitney, look at this. And I showed her the trailer, y'all. And then she was like, oh, this looks good too. And I was like, and then I love that you recommended this to be our episode because I was like, yes, because I had no idea what we were going to do for the episode this week. And so that's how it started. But it was because I watched A Silent Voice and you showed me that. And I was like, man, I got to get back into these.
I agree with you.
It was so good.
Feel like I'm also wanting to just get back into anime in general. I mean, I remember like back in the day when
There wasn't that many.
American animation wasn't where it is now. Like it's gotten a lot better, like storylines and stuff. But back in the day, it wasn't like yeah. But it's like they were talking about how it was like a numbers game for Japan. Like they put out so much content that you can't help but hit on like some gold, which is actually a good suggestion for like content creators everywhere. Like you gotta make stuff. You gotta put stuff out there, let people see it. Even if it's not great, you can get feedback on it so it can get better. But you gotta put it out.
You're right.
But like. I'm like, this is so good. And then like Ranking of Kings after I hadn't watched I watched Silent Voice first, Ranking of Kings, or did I watch One Punch Man? But anyway, those like over the last year, A Silent Voice may have been more than a year ago, but like A Silent Voice, Ranking of Kings, One Punch Man, and now Belle. Like I've watched multiple animes in the last year and I'm like, I forgot how much I loved them.
Yes.
And how much they really can just...
Yes.
Well, One Punch
The
Man
Marvel
is
world
not
got
exactly
me.
the kind of like heartstring pulling type thing is like A Silent Voice or Ranking of Kings or Belle. But it's like so good with the characterization.
What is it? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Whitney. What is it about anime? I was about to pose this question because I actually researched this. Well, not researched it because I didn't find anything. I was looking up YouTube videos to see if anyone had some analysis because I was trying to remember that fuzzy feeling that you get when you're watching these anime. I constantly get that while I'm watching Fruits Basket. And it's because of the kind. It's a shoujo. It's basically a shoujo one. And I would call this movie kind of shoujo too.
Yeah, I would
not
agree.
shonen. But I was like, what is it about these that you feel so much? Like I cried. I watched this twice and I cried again. I cried again watching Belle, and I was like, what is it about animes? I don't know if it's the animation or what do you think it is that grabs you so much?
I don't think it's necessarily the animation because even if you're watching a movie that makes you cry. I don't think it's. I mean, it can add to and enhance something, but I think it has to do with just their story and characters. A lot of story and characterization. They put so much into it.
What I like about anime, besides the unique drawing style, is that also I don't know if this is Japanese culture or what, but I like how they isolate certain things. So sarcastic things or things that are emotional. I just was looking at, even watching Fruits Basket, I was looking at how they show an emotion or how they just demonstrate a certain thing, or how they have how they'll be someone's reaction. They will show it differently.
I think you're right. I think
interesting
it's
about
the I think maybe you're right that it's something of animation is because they can emphasize something, whereas live action, you can't exactly do that, which is why things don't hit as well. For example, Lion King. Animated Lion King is still going to be, hands down for me, the best one over the CG one.
Lion King 2 is better.
Because you can emote more with an animated character because you exaggerate certain things to make it apparent what the emotion is. And I think it's because of that. You get... Of course, the random things with the big eyes look like they're freaking out or something.
Yeah,
that's
the
one
different
thing.
ways they do that. The freaking out, the little, when
they're
the thought bubbles, or the
really
they're thinking about something.
They're being all angsty and stuff, and
their
eyes have the little lights in their eyes, and it's bigger. I feel like it's something to do with that because I also think back to Turning Red, and I think what made me love it even more than I already would have is they put elements of anime in there,
where it was honestly, I don't want to call it ridiculous. It's just hyper. It's hyperbolic, some of the feelings that come up, but it's it's real though. So it's you see some characters, and then you be you see a girl saying, let's say there was a girl talking about a guy she liked, and then she didn't like that this other girl was talking to her. But on the show, they would be she would be going on a little rant where she's I can't believe it, blah, 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 blah. But they will show it they will just show her, the character, and then a dark cloud around her or something, and then you won't see her eyes, and her mouth is moving, and then her friends are in the back are you okay? And it's just it's just that depiction of her emotion at that moment.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me, how they'll be or when someone's angry, they'll be they'll show different ways, or when you're I can't believe they just did that. They'll show different things to emphasize those emotions or things. It's something very unique.
I should put. That would mean I actually would have to make a freaking website to put it on. But I really should put. We can throw it in the show notes, assuming I actually get the website up to put it on there. But remember, I wrote my research paper.
Yeah, on
anime, and that was one of the things that I was examining, why it hits the way it does. I need to reread it because I thought I was pretty proud of it.
Reread it and let me read it.
Yeah.
I would love to know,
and we'll let
stuff.
you guys read it if you want to.
Yes.
But it examined what is it that hits, and I think I remember one of my lasting points was talking about for example, the very last episode of Revolutionary Girl Utena. You don't find out the name of the episode because usually they have the episode name at the very beginning of the episode. This was the only episode where it didn't show the card that shows what the episode name is until the very end. And it ends without really showing the ending because crap. What's her name?
Revolutionary Girl Utena.
No, Utena, and why am I blanking? Anthe. Yeah, Anthe.
Okay.
Himimiya. So Anthe is Utena's disappeared. they're trying to figure out, and like her brother, the evil brother, is like, she's gone, and blah, blah, blah. He's just like, no, she actually did revolutionize the world. And she like walks off because the whole point, Utena was trying to free her from her brother. And so she's like got her own independence and stuff. And after she walks off, you know, the credits are coming up, and then they show, like, when the credits are completely done, there's this screen where there's a photo that they took. It's Utena, Anthe, and then Anthe's brother. And they're in the photo, and Anthe and Utena are holding hands, and in the back, like, a voiceover is them talking, and Utena's like, I want you to be able to tell me anything. I want us to be friends like that. And she was like, and one day, and then Anthe's like, one day, and it doesn't say anything. The voice cuts out, and then the card comes up of the name of the episode. One day we'll shine together. So I think it's the fact they don't say it.
They just show it.
Show it. And they do like things like that where, you know, I feel like American TV, sometimes we feel the need too much to
just put a bow
everything
on it.
Has to be like a anvil on your head with what it means. And they give you enough wiggle room where it doesn't have to be so literal. And I love that.
Like that's true. And I feel like with anime that they like really go into the emotions more, into the person. Like this show, this one, like this, with Belle, so we can come back because we haven't actually started talking about Belle. Belle goes into this emotion, this like the struggle the girl's having. Like, this is not the anime you think it's like. It's not what you think it is. Not just a happy-go-lucky. It's about a girl who's struggling. You know what I mean? And so, and it's about, honestly, let's be real. Spoiler alert. Go watch it first. It's about child abuse. Somebody's being abused, and she through this medium, she's helping them. I just think it's amazing.
But I would say that's something that comes at the very end. I would say it's more so about maybe healing from trauma.
That too.
Because you don't even find out that there's abuse until like the very end.
That too.
For the most of the movie, you're thinking that like she's trying to connect with someone who she feels is in pain, like she was in pain.
And for a long time. So the movie is about a young girl in Japan who had lost her mom. Yes, Suzu, and I like her name because her name is Belle.
I like the name too.
I like the play on it because it means like a physical belle.
Yeah.
But then she turned into Belle, the beauty. And honestly, this movie had like a little bit of Beauty and the I like how they played with Beauty and the Beast, but they made it different. It wasn't about a romance. It was Beauty and the Beast.
I like that
but
twist.
It wasn't about a romance. It was
because
about
it was
someone saving, coming to their aid, help.
They had some
friendship.
Very apparent imagery that you could tell was like Beauty and the Beast, because there was like the rose thing that came up in one part of the movie. You had all the characters in the castle who were like like Mrs. Potts, Lumiere, Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
he was obviously a beast. They call him the Beast.
They called him the Beast
and her name is Belle.
And there was a castle.
And
it was like everything. And there was little thingies.
Justin.
His name was Justin, yeah.
And Justin was literally like
he was Gaston.
He was like,
exactly.
burn it down.
So I was loving it, and I was like, and I remember the whole time I was trying to figure out like, who is the Beast? Who is the Beast? And I was, my sister, I don't know why, she has this uncanny ability to guess the right thing. Like when we watched, she's been on a Grantchester binge, which is a PBS drama about a vicar who is an Anglican priest. Solving crimes in England in the 1950s. It's a very good show. Very good. I've been watching it since it aired.
Let's throw it in the show notes.
Yes, y'all watch Grantchester. It's on Masterpiece. PBS is when it comes on PBS when it comes on Sundays usually. They just finished season 7, but England doesn't have long episodes. The most you're gonna see is like there's usually like 6 episodes, sometimes 7 for every series. But it's very good. Grantchester.
Okay.
And so she was talking about that, and she's able to like pinpoint in the episode who the killer is before. It's like a murder mystery throughout the whole thing. But then it's also about the life of it's like faith and law, because the vicar joins the vicar who has faith joins the police officer who's an atheist, and they both come together and solve crimes.
Come
and stuff.
together.
Exactly.
Right
but
now.
with this show, she was able to tell. Like she just was like she was guessing. She's like, I think this person's the beast. And I was like, I was eating my food.
And her friend Hiro.
Hero's her friend, her best friend. But my sister was able to tell who the beast was, and I was like eating. I had already watched it at the time. I was watching it again for the pod, and I was eating something, and I almost choked. And I was like, how the hell did you? Because I did not know to the very end. I was like, I'm shocked because I did not see where I was going.
Shocked as well. And even though they dropped hints with like all the kids talking about like.
He was there, but you didn't know it was that one. There was so many other kids there. By the way, kudos to the drawing because they really did some diversity on this. I was very like happy and surprised. Like they really showed like this is like a global platform. Anyway, so the premise of this show is that the little girl, there's a VR universe where it's called You, and you can go into You, and You is unique because it uses your biometrics to make an AS avatar for you that is only, and it kind of is connected to your physical body. So whatever your physical body, and it says it starts off, it draws out your strengths. So whatever strength you have as a person kind of shows up in your avatar and stuff. And so Belle's strength was singing, and so she had such beauty in her spirit, and I love that her avatar was so beautiful, you know. And so, and she didn't seem like, she just thinks of herself like like a regular schoolgirl, and she was kind of depressed and sad since her mom had died, and it's been years, and everyone was worried about her and everything. She was also very kind of closed off, didn't talk to her father. And I was like, why don't you talk to your dad?
Super sad because you could tell that he was trying so hard to connect with her, but didn't want to push her.
Didn't know what to do.
And it just looks
but it was like years.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's got to be so super lonely for him because he lost his wife, and it's like he lost his kid too because she just didn't want to.
Yeah, she didn't know how to. She just didn't know how to cope with it, and it was like super depressed. She was super depressed, really. She really was depressed. And so she went into this world because I love how they started the anime with kind of an advertisement of You, of why you should come into You. It was like, you can start another life in the real world, but you can't start another life outside, but in you, you can. You can start another life. They're like, come change the world, like all these kind of things to lure you in, and you can then see why people would do it, you know?
Yeah.
Why, like, that's kind of like the lure of VR right now, too, that people are like, this is dangerous, but then people are like, but people do it, people love it, people spend money on virtual things, like changing their avatars and all that kind of stuff.
But it's really like everything. Anything in the world can be dangerous.
That's true too.
It's just about how you use it. Like,
and plus, everyone wants to escape. People love avatars. Look at me. I always make my little Bitmoji, and I magically make it change my hairstyle every time. Magically, you know. And so everyone's like, "How do you get it to look exactly like you?" I was like, "But I love it though."
It is pretty cool.
And then people pay money for Roblox clothes and jewelry and all that kind of stuff. So she was blowing up because she started singing because she had lost her voice in real life. So she couldn't sing anymore because that's something she did with her mom. And I love that this allowed her to sing. As someone who loves to sing, Whitney, you like to sing too, actually.
I'm not good at it, but I do like to sing.
Yes, I'm not bad. But I like to sing. I remember during the pandemic when we were all home, singing was like a therapy for me that I actually started writing songs. I wrote like 12 songs. I don't know if they're all good, but I was writing songs and I was singing in my shower to get through the pandemic and stuff. Because we were all stuck at home, trapped inside, you know.
Yeah.
Trapped in the closet. Ooh, wrong thing. My bad.
I had a question for you. Because you watched it more than once, and I've only watched it once so far. The older ladies that she sung with, were they friends of her mother's?
I believe so. I believe it was her mom's singing group.
Because they kept showing, twice during the movie, they showed like a photo of her with these ladies, but then I also looked like there was more than just her and the ladies. So I'm like, I kept trying to see if her mom was in them, but it would go away too quickly.
Her mom was in the picture, and if you saw it the second time, her mom was in the picture, and she was there too, so they know her.
Okay.
So it was like, I feel like she had like on the side a group of ladies, they all came and sang together as an activity, you know, not like they go and travel, and not like the Spice Girls, which I have on my shirt right now. Spice up your life, everybody. Anyway, somebody told me they liked my shirt. But they were a group of friends that her mom had, and she went with them, and so they all know she can sing. And she just didn't. And I love that she was able to find her voice again going into the VR world.
Yeah. And I just want to say, like, the really, a part that I found, like, super, super sad. I mean, there's a lot of sad parts. But is the fact that her mom, the way her mom died, is she saved another little kid. It was raining, the river water was high, and this kid was stuck out on like this like little piece of rock in the middle of the river, and no one was like going out to help the kid. So the mother puts on a life jacket, and Suzu's like, "No, Mom, don't go. She's like, the girl will die if someone doesn't help her. I have to go." So she goes. She goes out. You can see, because the little girl makes it back, and the girl's got the life jacket on, so you can see that you know that she's put the life jacket on the girl, but her mom didn't make it out of like this raging river, and Suzu was like really upset. Is that what
happened? I didn't even realize that. I thought her mom died trying to save her, and that some other people went and saved her. Like I watched it twice, and I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then, like, she's like, you know, the kid makes it back. She's got the life jacket on because obviously the mother must have gotten over there and put it on the little kid.
I did not notice that at all. That's
great. Yeah. So then she's like angry with her mother. She's like, why did like saving some other stranger's life matter more to you than staying with me? And I'm just like, oh my God.
It's a hard thing to deal with.
That is a hard thing to deal with, but it's also a very kind of, childish is the word, but yeah, it's a thought that a child might have, because you know that, like, you know, she was helping someone, and it's because
it's a selfish thought, but it's not. I can get the thought too.
Yeah, you can understand it, but it's also like a childlike thought.
You never know.
And she was young.
Adults could feel that way too.
That's true. But it struck me as a kind of childish thought.
Yeah, she's still a child. She's a teenager when we actually see her in the film.
She was a child when this happened. She looked like she was probably like maybe. I mean,
6 or 7 or something.
I would have said maybe 8.
I felt like, because she said when they were 6, her and Shinobu. Sorry, she said her and Shinobu, like, they used to play when they were 6. So.
They used to play when they were 6, so maybe she was 7 or 8.
She was like 7. Yeah, probably 7. I'd say 7. Anyway, she was around. She was still a kid. So, of course, I don't blame her for thinking that. And then as she got older, it's still something like a trauma that she has. Like, it's still a thing that's in her. She's still angry about it. She still
had that same kind of thought, I felt like. But I felt...
And you heard the comments, too. The comments of the person was like, why did she give up saving her? She gave her life for a stranger. And
they're like, that's what happened when you try to be here. I'm like, these are some, like, really nasty people.
These are how the internet trolls be. Like, for real. That is true.
And that was another theme I felt of this movie, is about how the internet can be super beneficial, but also really harmful. You just got to be careful with what you do and how you use the internet, because it can really build you up. Because when she was Belle and she was singing,
she was doing well. Like, she went from 2 followers, and then that thing was rolling at night. It was rolling. I was like, damn.
And then her friend Hiro said something really interesting, which I felt was true. She was like, you know, if you're really niche, then you might have all people who love you, but it's only when you get really big that you're gonna have like haters. So like, it just means
not everybody is gonna love you, no matter what. It doesn't matter, and you don't need them. You don't need everybody to love you. You really don't.
You really don't.
By the way, can we talk about her best friend? She is funny but scary.
Yes.
I was like, how did she set up that whole little surveillance room when they in the high school where they were performing, or her old elementary school?
And she was about that money, girl. She was like,
even like, I saw her little avatar, and I'm like, of course.
And she was like doing stuff.
She was maniacal laugh.
She had a whole business running.
Even her parents are like, "What are you laughing at?" And they were like, because she was just like, I was like, "Yo, your friend is crazy."
Yeah,
I like her, but she's crazy. She's scary. She was cray. And so she was a writer, but she was a ride or die. That's what I liked.
She really was ride or die.
Hiro was a ride or die.
And she handled some ish too, like when all those girls freaked out because what is his name?
Nonsense.
Grabbed her hand because they were friends, and everybody loved him. He was so handsome and everything.
Then me and my sister were going on like, why are Asian dramas like this? The girls be just doing too much for no reason. Because we're always like watching Asian dramas and the animes, and we're just like, the girls be doing too much sometimes. You're just like, stop, you know? All because she talks like, so he can't talk to her in school. Yo, why would he be with her? Oh my God, I was like, y'all need to get a life. That's what I would have said to all of them. I love the whole thing. And this is where the funny ridiculousness of those, just the way they chose to show this scene.
Oh,
was
that
hilarious.
was awesome.
Where they showed it like a whole like game board,
Yes.
like, just to show that you've got to conquer these girls and calm them down. And then when everything ended, they're like, "And the truce was." I was like, "What?"
Yes, that's the type of thing that makes anime like just brilliant.
Yeah,
you just
because
love
they'll
watching
just it'll be so hyperbolic, and they'll make it symbolic, and it's just
and
something so
it's
funny.
Like, and you're right, and it's like the perfect symbolism.
Yes, because it's like, this is basically a war. All these chicks, they have certain groups. You got to calm them all down, otherwise they'll tear you down.
Yes.
And then she's like, go talk to the reasonable girls, the girl group first. So she talked to them. She's like, hey, blah 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 blah, and then they all calm down. And you just saw the game board flipping over, and then it said truce. And then the chat was like, the girls were like, sorry, and I'm like, fake ass bitches.
I know, right? Right?
Y'all about to come for me, and now what?
Oh my God.
God, it was like so messed up, but it was so funny. I love the way they did that.
That was awesome.
Can we talk about the animation?
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
It was breathtakingly beautiful.
It was.
Whitney, did you feel like this when you watched it? At certain stills or certain scenes, I was like, is this like real? Like, it has this hyper realistic look in certain places. And I was like, what? I don't know, because we have a new Amazon TV, and I'm telling you, when I saw some stuff, I was just like certain scenes where you just saw like just the scenery, nobody's in it.
You're right. I did notice that, because there were certain. I mean, I could tell that it was a painted background, but there were certain ones where they made it look like hyper realistic.
Or I was like, is this a photo? And then I was like, what kind of new animation techniques are they using?
But you know, they're like a lot of like, it depends on what they want to do with it. Because if it's like a still background, you know, sometimes they'll make like, even in like anime TV shows where they don't have as much time, like these really, really just, you can tell a lot of time was put into these backgrounds where it looks like it could come like right out of a photo, or like a Rodin. Is Rodin one of the people who did like hyper realistic paintings?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but you know, like a painter who went for like Trompe-l'oeil. You know, my French is horrible. Trompe-l'oeil, fool the eye.
That I don't know.
It's an artistic term for like the painters who like painted, but it looked like it could have been a photo.
I'm telling you, it was just amazing. The animation in this was like even a step up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate to go back to, but I will. With Fruits Basket, I was just remembering, I was like, my sister was telling me all the stuff about Fruits Basket, and she's like, you didn't know? They redid it in 2019. I was like, where was that? When did this happen? She's like, girl, you need to watch it. It's been on. And I was like, wow. And then I saw the difference. I went back and watched the old one, and I was like, oh, dang, the animation difference is so real. You're just like, the other one's definitely more flat. More in that style of back in the day. And I was like, looking at the new one, it's so much more vibrant and everything. I was like, I see. The animation, they wanted to up, because they thought the story was so good, they wanted to up it. And so I was looking at this, I was watching the scene, like all the scenes when they're in the virtual reality U space, it's just beautiful.
Oh my God.
I really want to learn how to I really would like to find somebody who can make that costume where she's in the crystals. Oh my God, I want to wear the crystal outfit so bad. I
also want to make another comment about her best friend, Hiro. Because Hiro, like, during the movie, she's like, I design all the costumes. I'm like, dude, Hiro is a freaking G. Because not only is she's like her producer or manager or whatever, she be making the costumes that she be wearing to you.
She was very, I liked Hiro a lot. I did, but she was crazy. She was just crazy. Because the way she looked, she's like, just the way she set up that whole room, he's like, and then the fact that she was able to find the boys and look through all this, I was like, how are you even doing all this? Like, how are you seeing all this? And even when they were looking for who the beast was, the guises she would put on, and then she was so matter of fact, and she was kind of cold.
Yes. I had no idea that was her until she took off.
Yes, it was so intense. I was like, oh my God, did she just
doing the most?
But she was a detective. I was like, go ahead, Hiro. She was like, she was just taking off her disguise. She's like, apparently she's lying. All that, and then she's like, this is a stock photo. She was just lying about it. I was like, damn. How did you know?
I know, right?
And then my other part that I thought was funny was how Justin, who was the dumbass and the Gaston of the whole thing. My favorite part, I kept laughing at this because every time it came on, there would just be like sponsors were all behind it.
That was actually funny.
That was funny. Every time you saw
and
him,
I love how at the end,
like,
when after like all the
sponsors
shady
went away
stuff, he
because
did,
of the shady crap he was doing.
Like just faded.
Yeah, and he tried to like harm Belle, and he wanted to out her. Well, he did. He never wanted to out her for real, but he was going to out her. He was threatening to out her because she wasn't helping them find the beast, and she was trying to find the beast to see what was wrong with him. And I just thought she was connected to him from the beginning, which is kind of like the whole Beauty and the Beast thing. But it kind of got a message of where you think some people are beastly, but she's like, go check and see what's really going on with them. That kind of underlying message.
And he
was
just
there.
needed somebody to connect with him, and she did. She like
he wanted help.
I felt like she sensed something in him that was also in her. That like trauma, that hurt. That she was like, I can connect with this person because this is me as well to a certain degree, because she still was holding on to a lot of that trauma. And I think the interesting thing, now that I think about it, is that I felt like she healed because she helped someone else heal.
Yeah, and she stood up for them. And one of the interesting points I liked was that the boy who was being abused, the two that he was protecting his younger brother from their abusive father. He was just like, I remember his speech. He's like, I'll help you, I'll help you, I'll help you. They always keep saying that they would help. Some people keep saying they would help, but they never showed up to help. They never did anything, and nothing happened for them.
He said that people did.
They would try, but it didn't work.
They would try. They talked to my father, but nothing would ever change.
And that they were like, the situation never changed. And so he would keep saying, he was like, people kept saying they would help, but showing up and being there was the thing that she did that was different. And I was like, wow, that they were surprised, and they were surprised that she even did it. Everyone was shocked. And then it was also a message of that, showing your true self, because it was her stripping down so that he could see her real self. Be like, so that he could see that this is me behind here, and I'm going to meet you.
And I felt like it was, it became necessary because they saw the video of him like,
I was like,
almost being like hit by this glass his father threw at him and his brother. Yeah. So it's like, so you saw it. Were you happy to see us in the situation?
Angry.
And he was angry because it's like he was exposed. So the only way she could really connect with him is to expose herself, because like this was something that he did not want someone to see. And she didn't want people to know who she was, so she had to make herself vulnerable in a way similar.
helped her do that.
Yeah,
I like that. Shinobu helped her do that.
Shinobu was awesome.
Shinobu was a cool dude.
He
I was
really
like, girl, you need to like boyfriend him up, okay? Like, screw all your high school friends. I was like, forget them.
Well, they weren't even her friends.
Screw all your high school mates. You need to boyfriend him up for real, you know?
He was so cool. He was so chill, and he was just like, yeah, that's husband material right there.
Right? He was checking up on her all the time. He was concerned. He was like, hey, he's always been concerned. And I was like, that's so nice. But, Shinobu was a very nice, rugged man. By the way, that whole scene, one of my favorite scenes also in this film was when Kamishin and Ruka met up, and then they were shy. He was like, you gonna root for me? Kamishin is like our friend that was like interested in like only rowing and canoeing and stuff.
Kayaking.
And he was just so like weird. Everyone thought he was weird, but she was like cool and rooting for him. And so it was so fun because just because she said, I'm rooting for you, he's like, does that mean you like me? And I was like, dude, slow your rolls.
But he was right the second time, though.
He was right the second time. And Ruka liked him, too. And I just thought it was so cute.
And then he kept running away. That was so funny. She was like, and she had to keep grabbing.
Yeah. And I like that they made the pretty popular girl not like an evil bitch. like
I know,
in most
she was
teen dramas.
So
she was
cool.
also very cool. And she helped them figure out where the boys were. By the way, can I just say for that whole situation, if, abuse was publicized, Child Protective Services should have rolled up with instantly. You know what I mean? But I was even mad that when they called, one of the ladies in her singing group called, and they're like, 48 hours. I was like, what you mean 48 hours? In 48 hours, people can die. Like, I was like, Japan, y'all need to roll up quick.
Who knows how different, like, that type of stuff works in Japan. And honestly, I watching him, like, he technically didn't actually, like, lay hands on the boys. On film. You don't know what he did, like, in any other place, but the only time he actually, like, laid hands on someone was, like, on Suzu.
That we saw.
But I was like, this is interesting because he's, like, emotionally abusing.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was, maybe he's also physical, but I felt like, because I like how they showed the posture that the Beast had, that she witnessed the bruises forming on his costume in the U universe. And she witnessed them forming, but it was like because he was just taking the abuse in, and then they showed him covering his brother, and like he was like shivering every time his father was saying all this negative, terrible stuff, and he was like, "Oh, that's where the bruising is happening to his soul, to his spirit, you know." And then like it manifested in the world that way. I thought it was very cool to show that.
It was, and it was an excellent like symbolism and metaphor because that can be just as bad as actual physical abuse. Sometimes worse.
Oh yeah, definitely. My sister had a problem with her going. She was like, she's a child too. Why couldn't one of the adults go with her? How are you going to drive her to the train station and not go with her? She's like, how did you let her go to another town alone?
I don't understand why she went on her own. I mean, I understand she's a teenager, so if she was like 16 or 17, then maybe.
Yeah, she's older than the boys, but I still felt like she's still a small girl. She could have something could happen.
But I think someone should have gone with her because, like, this is a big dude, like physically intimidating his sons. Like, but going by herself didn't seem like. I understand why Suzu had to go because she's the only one that he really trusted and had a connection with. But somebody should have gone with her.
I was mad about that. So that was a check on the writers. All y'all should have rolled up together.
Now, granted, I think the father would have gone with her if he knew, but he just didn't freak out when he found out.
Exactly.
But he probably would have been like, no, I need to go with you.
What I'm not gonna lie, what I would like to see is what became of the brothers, because I was like, you showed up, you stopped the fathers from like they looked like he was about to beat the boys down, but she stopped him, but he kind of cut her on the cheek too. But at the same time, just like, but what became of the brothers? Like, what actually happened? And like when she went back to her life, and then you saw that her relationships were restored with her father, her friends, even within herself, I felt she felt lighter. She looked lighter.
Exactly.
But then I was like,
agree.
What happened to the boys though? Like,
I feel like their situation got
left?
better because they had someone who knew where they were. And was willing to be there for them. I feel like, because the father like ran away. He like literally ran away. She didn't lay any hands on him. He laid hands on her.
Fire in her face. She was just like, do something to these kids. I dare you to touch me.
And he just like, he looks frightened and ran away. And I feel like he was like one of those bully people where you just need one good time and then no more because they're afraid like somebody stood up to him. Now I'm not gonna do it again because I'm scared. I'm like he's actually a coward.
Yeah, he is.
And he just needed someone to stand up to him.
Not just the mom dying made him that way, or he was always that way. I don't know, but it was interesting because they had put that story in there from the beginning that something was up with them. I don't know, but I was just that's something I wish I had known.
Because
maybe it's off camera.
She's got his contact information. She can go there again. She can check up on him. She's actually there, and that was the point of her going, was to show I'm here, and she's not going to stop being there.
Yeah. It was like, come to me. That song at the end. Oh, my God. That part made me cry so bad.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the music,
song where she showed herself and she sang. Oh, my God. I love that song so much.
And I love when all of the other, like, avatars started singing with her,
Oh, my God. And the golden lights were everywhere. Everybody's light was shining. Oh, I was crying like crazy. I was like, not crying like crazy, but I was tearing up. I was like, why again? And then my sister it was funny. She was just making comments because she was all for it. But then when she heard her friend Hero sing in the off-key voice, she was like, that messed it up. She started laughing. She's like, I couldn't take her seriously. I was like, her voice was just so funny. I was like, Shushy, that's not right. I was like, it's an emotional moment. She's like, but I couldn't. That voice. I was like, what? Oh, man. But I like that she restored her relationship with her father. I love that. Because she had to be restored within herself first. Because it was paining me watching it. Because I was like, but your father's there. He checks on you. He's nice. He's kind. And you just shirking him off. I don't even talk to him. I'm like, is this normal? Even in Fruits Basket, they don't be talking to their parents. I'm like, is this normal in their culture? I don't know.
I don't think it's normal in the culture. I think that was her experience of like how she dealt with her trauma. Like, I think everybody probably deals with stuff differently. That's how she happened to do it. She just couldn't connect.
Yeah.
I think she probably wanted to. It's like one of those things. It's like watching almost like a train crash or something. She's like, you can see that I don't want to do this, but like she couldn't quite get herself out of herself enough to try to meet her dad.
Dad's still there though. I was like, Dad's still there.
Yeah.
And I liked the little speech he gave her on the phone. And I mean, we heard it audibly, but she was reading it. And I was like, I just loved it when she got off the train. He was there to meet her. Yeah. My sister was like, we were both like, I love that her dad was there to meet her. Because he was like, he probably would have went if he had known she was going, like you said. So we were so glad that he was there to meet her on the train platform. And then he asked her, because he always asked her for food and to do something, and she always turns him down. And then this time she was like, yes, please. And I was like, breakthrough.
It was like healing.
Breakthrough. Because I was like, Dad needs you too. Like, you're both together, you're both alive still.
Her doing something pretty much exactly like her mom. So I think not only forgive her mom, but empathize, understand why her mom did what she did, because she essentially did the same thing. Yes. Dude could have killed her.
That's what I was saying. I was like, why are you a little girl standing up to that? Like, you're not even that much bigger than the oldest son. Like,
and she
you're
did
about
it
the
for
same
someone
height.
she didn't know. So now I feel like that's why she could heal, because she's like, I understand now. My mother, like, I understand why my mother did what she did. She was saving.
She was saving her for you're right. I just realized that she essentially the same thing her mom did, and she realized why her mom did that. And she was a better person for it. And I love that Shinobu was like always her friend, and they always hung out together. And like he wanted to continue, but because she was so sad, he was like he couldn't, like he was like, great, now we can just do fun things together and hang out. And I was like, wow.
And I just that dude is so emotionally intelligent. He was like, you're gonna have to show yourself to him. I'm like,
right?
Dude was just there,
right? I was like, show up, Prince man. That's why he's the prince of the school. You know, they always had the prince character was always cool. You know what I mean? He definitely was it. And it was great. I really thoroughly enjoyed this story.
I loved it.
It touched me so much, and I just was like I said, I saw somebody cosplay on TV on YouTube. They had dressed up like her, like Belle, and they did like a couple of different looks. I was like, oh my God, so it's possible.
Yes,
I may think about it, and I want a long pink wig too.
Yellow pumpkin to become a golden carrot.
It's possible, y'all.
It's possible.
Whitney, you ready for the ratings?
Yes, I am.
All right, so what do you give it?
I'm giving it 10 glasses, y'all.
Woo woo!
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 10 as well.
I loved it. Yeah,
it's just a really good movie. It says so much about AI and not AI, VR, virtual reality. Like I like how they married the whole thing of this common thing that happens now. It's very new. It's very now. It's very common. People are doing virtual reality things, but it also talked about the importance of your real life self as well. You know, I like that she had to show you, like, you can be on those platforms talking and doing all this kind of stuff, but it's like when it comes down to it, showing who you really are is what matters. You know what I mean? And some people show that really are in the ugly side. Yeah, and you saw it in the show too with all the commenters and all the fake and all that kind of stuff.
And then the random chick who was like also a singer who was really
hating
jealous
on her so bad. Yep.
And then she was like,
oh, she's like me. Just a regular girl.
And it just showed what can happen when you show yourself, when you're vulnerable. Some people will try to tear you down, but a lot of people will like heal because of it. Yep. Because of you showing, because like that girl, she was like, she's just like me. She's just like a regular girl, and then she became like a supporter whereas before she was always hating on her.
Exactly, and so I like at the end it was like, come change the little voice that the end. Yeah, I guess the voice that starts you off on the journey as well. I like that it said, come and change the world. Yes. So it's like, be the change you want to see, you know, be the change virtually or in real life too. Because that's where it counts. That's where it matters. Showing up in person, that was like a boss bitch move that she did. Like, I was shocked that she even did it. I was like, you really just gonna roll up? And I was like, what? I was so surprised and proud of her for doing that. Yeah. I was like, that stuff matters to people. People will never forget that kind of stuff. When they are in such, and you're a stranger at that. You're not somebody that knows them, but you came there to protect them. And I was like, wow. I was in awe. And I was like, more people would need to be like Belle. She was amazing. I really liked the character, growth, arcs, everything. I want to be in the world too. Only thing I have to ask you, Whitney, is like, you know when they were putting on the little biometric ear things, do you think that it also went to their eyes and they could see into the world. Like they're like it went on your. You know how the Oculus like covers your eyes completely. Me and my sister were wondering.
Did she put something else on though?
No,
I
just
feel
the
like
earpieces. It was just the earpieces. And then I was like, could she see?
Not sure. I would have to watch it again to know for sure.
Okay, that was my only question. All right, y'all. So that is our review of Belle. As you can see, we didn't even mention who made the movie. And we didn't mention the singer or the songs or anything.
Oh my God, yes. The new talent who was like the singing and voice actress of Belle.
Kylie McNeil.
/ Suzu, yes.
Kylie McNeil,
so
amazing.
Super freaking talented.
Amazing person.
She doesn't have a whole lot on her YouTube channel, but I followed her anyway just because she's so talented. And I'm just looking forward to see what she does next.
And this was actually made by Mamoru Hosoda, who is a famous director, writer, Japan. He also made a movie on Netflix called Mirai. That was actually Oscar nominated.
Oh wow!
So I'm actually going to check that one out. But this was his other film, and I really, really enjoyed it. So y'all check him out. I may have found another person because Miyazaki-san is retired, so I was like, I got to find some more like Japanese movies that hit. Hitting that really get at you. Very poignant, really poignant.
Yes,
something about the way they do their movies. I don't know. It's amazing, but I loved it. What'd you say, Whitney?
Yeah. It was just beautiful.
Y'all go watch it. It's on HBO Max right now. It's still there.
Right.
Y'all go stream it, okay? And by the way, we are now on TikTok. We haven't told you guys, but we're on TikTok, so follow us on there. I'll put some talks. Is that what they're called?
I don't know. I think they're just called TikToks.
Okay, I'll put some talks on there. I'm going to call them talks.
I sounded like a grumpy old lady. Sorry. I don't know.
All right, y'all. So we're going to blurt out now.
We have an email list, you guys.
Oh, yes, please do.
Subscribe to our email list. It'll be in the show notes.
Yes, everything will be in the show notes, y'all.
And eventually, soonish, there will be a website.
Yes, because we definitely do need that. All right, so keep following us, y'all. Again, we're on Instagram as well. Keep following our reels, everything. And, of course, we want to hear from you. If you guys like the movie, tell us about it. We love interacting with y'all. Y'all know I'll be on there talking to all y'all. And to the people that have commented already, thank you so much. Some of you have said some good comments or told us.
You want to do any shout-outs to anyone?
Actually, yes, I will shout out somebody. You're right.
Because I was about to be like, off the mic, I'm going to be talking to you.
Let me find out who. Let me get the name of this new person that has been like giving us some good feedback. Yes, his name is Corey Roy _ He's also a YouTuber and YouTuber podcaster, and he has his own content. He's also calls himself a certified blurred. So his name is Corey Roy _ and he has been also giving us feedback, and I also looked at some of his stuff. So thank you, Corey. I'm shouting you out for just replying and responding and giving us some awesome feedback. You rock. Whoop, whoop. All right, y'all. So we are going to blur it out now and be gone, okay? Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Blurt out. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe to our show on whatever podcast listening app you use and share the show with other blurred and non-blurred family and friends. And if you like our episode, please rate and review us on iTunes.
The intro and outro music is Twilight by Caption. You can find them on SoundCloud, username Caption, spelled CAPSHUN. The show notes are by Bola, Hanson, and the audio engineering is by Whitney Booker.
And you can contact us by email at blerdtalkbw@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to get social, you guys. You can find us on our social media at Instagram and Twitter, with our @handle being @blerdtalkbw. And we've got our individual things going on too, y'all. So you can find me, your blurred fashionista, on Instagram and Twitter at BolaStoryB. That's B with 2 E's like the insect. And I've got my own personal YouTube channel, just Bola Sade. That's BOLASHADE. D as in dog, E as in elephant.
And this is Whitney. You can find me at my company, Luminavi Studios. The email address is wit@luminavi.com. That's WHIT@LUMENAVI.com. You can also find me on Twitter at Luminavi Studios.